What's up, world? You are welcome to Next Telly. You guys, this one is very strong. Wow, today's book, To Sir Philip with Love. This is Eloise's story from the Bridgerton series, a series of books by Julia Quinn. They are romance novel to celebrate the month of February. I decided to delve into the Bridgerton series, and I think this is book 5 now. And wow, this book, I was trying extra hard not to cry because one of the major characters that featured in the book was actually in the film or in the series. And in the series, I was so sure, like I was rooting for her. There were things that she did I wasn't very happy about, but I was rooting for her. She was I just felt like this girl will be fine, Jerry, no problem. And basically, of course, her character in the series is pretty different from that in the book, but let me just get into the whole thing, okay? If this is your first time, I am Nez. Welcome to Next Telly, a book tube celebrating the month of love. I decided to go into the Bridgerton series, a series of 9 books written by Julia Quinn. Book 1 being the first season of Bridgerton, the series on Netflix, which is doing very well right now. So I decided to just get into all the series. So the book series is about a family of 8 kids, all named in alphabetical order from A to G, or to H, sorry, from A to H. And we are talking about the Eloise, that's Eloise's story right now. So Eloise is the 5th born and the 2nd girl. She married very late. She's best friends with Penelope. So Penelope got married in the last one. I'll put the link here. That's the Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. She got married to one of the Bridgerton siblings. So one of the Bridgerton siblings actually married his sister's best friend. That kind of thing. And another thing I found very interesting was that both stories happened simultaneously, and Julia Quinn did a good job of trying to make sure that there was no extra, there was no continuity issue. Do you understand? So there were some parts of Romancing Mr. Bridgerton that some things happened, and she continued that same thread in this particular one, but that is not what I'm here about. I'm here to tell you about how saddened I am by this particular romance story. The story is basically about all of them finding love eventually, and how they are not willing to compromise on anything else because of their own parents who actually got married in Regency times. In Regency times, people did not marry for love. People married for money, people married for comfort, people married for status, and people married as deals. People basically, some people planned their children's wedding before the children came out to society. So Eloise has been out in society since she was 18. At this point, she's 28. And one of the things I think I found very anyway, Eloise generally is just I feel like she's just a very messy person. From the series, that's not this girl just very messy. She get off, so she's not I just found her very exhausting. I don't know, but anyway, she never wanted to come out. She didn't want to be part of society. She wanted to go to school. She kept on saying she wanted to do these things. My annoyance with her is that she's somebody that used to talk a lot about doing things that she never did it. Not to me. Unlike her friend Penelope. Penelope actually was quiet most times, but she knew what she wanted. She knew she wanted to get married. She knew she wanted to marry Colin Bridgerton, that's for sure. And she knew what she wanted to do, so she just, even though she was quiet and generally understated, she wanted to do something. Eloise wasn't like that. Eloise was somebody, she came from a rich home. I feel like if anybody had more opportunities to do things, it would have been Eloise. But she spent more time complaining about the things she couldn't do or things that could be changed than actually doing something. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just how I felt about her. Like, this girl, just shut up, do something else and keep quiet. Do you understand? And every other person, like Daphne, her mom, there are people that, okay, this thing is not good, what can I do about it? What can I change about this? At that time, women are kind of like property. I mean, I don't like that that's what it was, but that's what it was. Women women don't get to go to university, and they are cherished for their needlework and piano playing and being able to dance. That's what women were for. So it was just a very strange time. So anyway, the story of Eloise, Sir Philip is Sir Philip Crane. Sir Philip Crane is a man who married his brother's fiancée. The brother had died at war at Waterloo, and then 2 weeks after his dad died, he's the only one left, even though he hadn't been trained or raised to be a baron. Yeah, Sir Philip, I think he was going to be a baron. Yeah, he was going to be a baron in wherever his place was, and he wasn't trained for it. His brother dies at war, and 2 weeks after his father dies, so he's left alone and he has to do something. In order to carry on what he felt was honor and all that, he married the fiancée, brother's fiance just to keep the brothers well. I don't quite know how that works, but then it's a different time. I don't know what that's about. So he married the fiance, but the fiance was, I think she was mentally challenged, and I think that's why it got it's very sad, because they were married for 8 years. They had 8 kids. Sorry, they had 2 kids that were like 8 years old, or almost 8 years old when this book began, and whew, the wife committed suicide. The woman was she was melancholy a lot. She was very depressed, and then after she gave birth to the kids, it got worse. She was crying a lot, and you know, he was told that she would get better after a while and all that, but she just never did, you know. And the prologue was about a year before. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, a year before, she had gone into the water. They had a lake in their home, in their estate, and she went in there and tried to drown herself. Somehow he found her, you know, screaming and trying to help her, save her and all that. Saved her, she lived, and you know, I think one of the things that broke my heart the most was when he found her and all that, and she was able to open her eyes. He told him, don't, as in, don't save me, something like that. She's like, don't. And he was like, what? I beg, you're going to leave, that kind of thing. And then, you know, starts pounding her and all that, and tries to get her to get up. And she did get up, but then she died 3 days after from lung fever or something like that. You know, back in those days, things that some people cough and die, literally. So they said it was influenza. They said, I don't know, but she died in the house. And since then, the thing was that she is Eloise's 4th cousin. So Eloise is somebody that loves to write. Like, she's somebody that if she lived in today's world, she would have been such a beautiful blogger. She likes to write. She will write to save her life. She will write to, I don't know, she'll talk people out of doing the worst things by writing. So she saw the message that Eloise, what's her name? I've forgotten her name. The woman that died. I'll remember. Miss Thompson. Let me call her that. Miss Thompson. Miss Thompson. Okay, Miss Thompson. Anyway, so Miss Thompson, Miss Thompson had died. Like, oh, she now sent a message. She now wrote a message to the husband. Sorry about your loss, blah blah blah. The husband reads it and sends the message back, and somehow told them stay going back and forth with letters for about 15 months. 15 months. By the 15th month, Sir Philip looks at his life. He has 2 kids that he doesn't know how to control. He doesn't know how to raise his kids. He's a botanist, so he spends more time in his greenhouse planting and doing stuff. And he doesn't know how to raise his kids. He doesn't know what to do with them, you know, and he believes he needs a wife, but more importantly, he thinks he needs a home for his kids. And because he just felt like, okay, this girl is now 28 years old, she's been out in society for forever, and she might be willing to to marry. At least her standards may not be too high, that kind of thing. I said, okay, marry me. He didn't tell her that she had kids, by the way. So you're like, marry me, blah blah blah, and Eloise thought about it. Initially, she kept it in her cupboard. She was like, I beg, I'm not going to do that. Then a month after Penelope gets married, and she thinks, oh my god, my best friend is getting married. I know, sadly, in her mind, she always thought that if anybody was going to get married first, to be her, because though she had been out in the town for about 10 years, or over 10 years, she had gotten 6 proposals, but she just didn't take it. Penelope never got any. The one she got was from Colin, and she married the man. So she got from Colin and Penelope gets married, and then suddenly a reality flashes on Eloise's head, like, wow, okay, so let's do this. So a few days after or before the wedding, or just after the wedding or something like that, she packs her things and runs to Sir Philip's house. Sir Philip's house is not that far from London. She takes a carriage. She doesn't tell her family because she just wanted to see who it was that was asking to marry her. She just pops up in the guy's house and boom, book starts. So it's a beautiful story. I didn't think Eloise's story was going to be this interesting. I just felt like I was just reading it just because I didn't think her story was going to be as interesting, because I found her very annoying and all that. But it is probably more because of the fact that there's a lot of they're addressing a lot about mental health issue. The man suffering from trauma from the wife that tried to kill himself, the children suffering from an absent dad, even things like domestic abuse. They had caregiver, I think they are nurse. They had been telling their dad that they had a problem with the nurse, but the dad just didn't want to deal with that. Dad was like, I beg, just look, don't be, because the children are very rascally. And she's like, I beg, deal with don't stress me. Your nurse is there, let him take care of your auntie. But the nurse used to spank them a lot. And the woman used to do it in such a way that the nurse used to spank them a lot in such a way that she would spank them in places where you wouldn't see. So like maybe they are bomb, places where their clothes are covered. So like you wouldn't beat them on the hand or something. So it was really bad, but the kids were very mysterious. So Eloise moves in, and about 2 weeks after, her brothers come inside, nearly kill Mr. Phillips for dishonoring their sister. and that becomes a whole other thing. So there were a lot of things to laugh about, but I think I was more saddened by this. But I'm not saying that the book is sad. I'm just saying that it was a more thought-provoking romantic story. It was really nice. So to Sir Philip with Love has notched up on the on my line of the ones I prefer now. So I think the first is still Benedict's story, An Offer for a Mistress. I'm sorry, that one is not going anywhere. Then I'm going to second it with this one, To Sir Philip with Love. The final go with The Viscount Who Loves Me, then Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, then we go to The Duke and I. So I am still on the roll. I plan to finish all these books this week, so thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, okay? Join the community. I have other books apart from romance stories, so don't be scared. I'm going to go back. Once I'm done with this, we're going to go back and start reading other books. But if you're really into romance, please feel free and watch every other thing I've said. And then if you watch the series, what do you think? Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.